us guide, most humbly so, that we allow the teams that have proceeded to serve to come back first, so that then we can proceed, so that we don't have a very long queue. Thank you. Enjoy. Octave.
telling my brother Agwambo, now you have the mantle, my brother. Now you have the mantle of ODM. And I want to remind you of the words of a philosopher who said, a man who wants to lead the orchestra must turn his back to the crowd. My friend, Agwambo, please look forward, don't look back.
I want to commend
by telling my brother Agwambo, now you have the mantle, my brother. Now you have the mantle of ODM. And I want to remind you of the words of a philosopher who said, a man who wants to lead the orchestra must turn his back to the crowd. My friend, Agwambo, please look forward. telling my brother Agwambo, now you have the mantle, my brother. Now you have the mantle of ODM. And I want to remind you of the words of a philosopher who said, a man who wants to lead the orchestra must turn his back to the crowd. My friend, Agwambo, please look forward, don't look back.
Go
I want
by telling my brother Agwambo, now you have the mantle, my brother. Now you have the mantle of ODM. And I want to remind you of the words of a philosopher who said, a man who wants to lead the orchestra must turn his back to the crowd. My friend, Agwambo, please look forward.
Oh,
Thank you, Octave Band. I trust that you are enjoying your dinner. This is a celebration of consistency, of astuteness, of focus. Perhaps your hands may be too full for you to clap, but I will just want you to turn to the person next to you before I invite the chair of the planning committee and tell that person 20 years is not a joke. Kindly turn to the person next to you. 20 years is not a joke. Think about it. Where were you 20 years ago? And I hear somebody saying I was an ODM member. So were you, so was I. So allow me to invite the chair of the planning committee for the ODM at 20 celebrations, the minority leader in the National Assembly, Honorable Junaid Mohammed. And as Junaid comes, I'll request the service team to serve as discreetly as possible. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Mubagi. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, my party leader, Dr. Oburu Odinga, Prime Cabinet Secretary, leadership of the ODM party, na ODM members. When I say ODM, munasema tuko tayari. Everyone in this room tonight must sing ODM, including the President. Lazima muimbe ODM hapa leo. Haya, ODM. ODM. Rais, mbona mnyamaza? ODM. Oh, very good. Your Excellency, today or tonight or the last 3 days, from Thursday, Friday, and today Saturday, we have been in the Coast region celebrating our 20th anniversary as ODM. On Friday, we had a National Governing Council. On Thursday. On Friday, we had three functions: a youth function, women function, a women event, and a concert for the youth in the evening. And today, we had the main celebration at Mamangina Waterfront. And tonight, as a founder member of this party, you decided to host us for a founders dinner. Can we clap for this? This program or these celebrations started when our departed party leader was there. And I remember very well, he discussed with you at length about it. And we were supposed to do it on 10th of October. From 14th and 15th and 16th, I think. Then he traveled and he didn't come back, unfortunately. But you are aware that when you discussed with him, you agreed with him that as a founder member of the party, you are going to host the ODM party in Mombasa for a founders dinner. So we appreciate you. We have eaten well as ODM. The kind of food you serve today here is not very common in ODM, but it's okay. I can see there is light at the end of the tunnel. But before I say much, tonight is a Founders Day. So the founder members are here. They have been invited. This is their night. We have the President, William Samoei Ruto. We have the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi. We have Honorable Mumbi Ngaru. We have Honorable Henry Kosgei. We have Honorable Franklin Bet. And we have Honorable CS Beatrice School. That is the list that has been given to be the founder members of this party. They are big men who came after them. They are not founders, but they are big men. We have CS Oparanya here. We have CS Joho. Those are big men in ODM, Your Excellency, but they were not, I think, founders. When it was being founded, ODM was being founded, some of them maybe were sugarcane farmers. They were farming sugarcane in Mumias area. Anyway, Your Excellency, I don't want to take much. I want to invite the first Secretary General of the party, who is also a founder member, the Governor of Kisumu County, Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, to come and recognize his colleagues and give them a chance to speak to the ODM members today. There are many people here. There are youths here who don't have the history of this party, but they belong to this party and they support this party. Professor, welcome.
ODM oye! And many others. So it is a good day that we have come together as a family to celebrate our past and our achievements and our hope for the future. As a teacher, among other things, I'd like to put the record straight. 20 years ago, an orange became more than just a fruit. It became a symbol, the emblem of a people's defiance, the voice of a nation demanding justice, and the promise of a Kenya reborn. Out of the fire of the 2005 referendum, the Orange Democratic Movement was born. Not merely as another political party, but as a movement of hope, a force for reform, and a covenant with the people of Kenya. Today, comrades, as we gather here 2 decades later, we are not only celebrating 20 years of existence, we are celebrating resilience. We honor the sacrifices of our founders, the courage of our supporters, and the unwavering dream of a fair, just, and prosperous Kenya. ODM at 20 is not just the story of a party. It is the story of a people who refuse to surrender their destiny. Distinguished Wanachungwa, as a pioneer Secretary General of this great movement, I stand before you with pride to reflect on our journey. The Orange Democratic Movement was formally registered in 2005, emerging from the No campaign during the constitutional referendum of that year. And I remember the prime movers of the ODM disappeared somewhere in Ukambani, and the president was one of them. I don't know whether that place was called Kwambungo or something like that. Yeah? Busiongumbo. That is where we disappeared to conspire how to bring this political party to birth in a nation that was suppressed by presidential authoritarianism. The Orange Democratic Movement, having been registered with the orange as the symbol, the voice of those who opposed the proposed draft constitution came together, opposing the so-called Kilifi draft constitution and embracing the Bomas of Kenya draft. In history, you need to learn what those two drafts of the constitution stood for. The Bomas of Kenya are people's proposal for a new constitution. The Kilifi draft are defense for the past and a privilege for the few. We viewed that a draft as a legal camouflage designed to sustain the old reactionary order, not the progressive democratic Kenya that we, ODM, envisioned. ODM was formed by leaders and citizens who could no longer tolerate injustice, disorder, and reckless leadership. We sought genuine change, not a repackaged continuation of bad governance. Among the key founding figures who stood with the people were Raila Amolo Odinga, Makofi Basi, our party leader and the enduring face of the movement, whose untimely passing remains a great loss to our people. Uhuru Kenyatta, who initially allied with ODM during the referendum before charting his own political path and later becoming Kenya's fourth president. William Ruto, a central figure in the 2005 No campaign, one of the ODM's strongest mobilizers in the Rift Valley, and now the President of the Republic of Kenya. Kalonzo Musyoka, who also opposed the Kilifi draft constitution, but later formed ODM Kenya, now the Wiper Democratic Movement. Musalia Mudavadi, who stood alongside Raila as his running mate in 2007 and now serves as Kenya's Prime Cabinet Secretary. Najib Balala, a proud member of the ODM Pentagon, representing the Coast region. What Najib? He's out of the country. I will stand in for him. After the referendum victory, internal disagreements led to a split. ODM Raila's faction and ODM Kenya Kalonzo's faction. Raila's ODM went on to contest the 2007 general election, nearly capturing power in one of Kenya's most disputed elections and establishing that the vision of the ODM that it led was really the true story that Kenyans wanted to hear about. At its formation in 2005, ODM crafted a clear and bold vision rooted in the spirit of reform and the will of the people. Defending the people's sovereignty became an important item on our agenda, ensuring that the will of Kenyans, as expressed in the referendum, would guide constitutional, political, and economic reforms. Advancing constitutional change became our permanent mission, replacing centralized governance with a people-driven constitution, promoting devolution, inclusivity, and checks and balances on presidential power. Bridging the gap between the rich and the poor was also on our agenda, pressing historical injustices in land, addressing historical injustices in land, governance, and human rights, and ensuring fair resource distribution. Strengthening multi-party democracy, fighting corruption, and protecting civil liberties. Under the leadership of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, ODM sought to unite Kenya in its diversity, embracing our ethnic, cultural, and regional identities under the clarion call, Chungwa Moja, Maisha Bora. Chungwa Moja, Maisha Bora. The path has been rough and slippery at times, yet our spirit has never wavered. In 2007, we launched our manifesto, the ODM Roadmap to Real Change. Its three key pillars remain relevant today. 1, constitutional and institutional reform. A people-driven constitution, rule of law, accountability, and balanced presidential powers. 2, devolution and equitable development, resources to reach every county and correct historical marginalization. 3rd, economic growth and equity, job creation for the youth, agricultural empowerment, and fair access to land, and a prosperous modern industrial and manufacturing sector. Social justice and human development, free basic education, universal health care, and poverty reduction. National unity and cohesion, inclusivity across all divides, and a war against corruption, nepotism, and impunity. Further infrastructure and modernization, expanding roads, energy, ICT, water, and housing for all. Our goal was simple yet profound: to redefine governance and redistribute opportunity so that every Kenyan could truly feel the promise of independence. Ladies and gentlemen, we must now look at our legacy. Our story is written in the heartbeat of this nation. Remembering what happened in Italy, for example, in 1871. Under the Grand Coalition, our leader became Prime Minister, and we laid the foundation for reforms that will still shape Kenya today. In 2010, we achieved one of our founding goals, the birth of a new constitution that devolved power and protected rights. 2013, 17, and 22, though denied victory through political malpractice, ODM stood firm as the people's watchdog, the voice of accountability, and the defender of revolution. Asante sana ndugu wangu. Mungu akubariki. ODM has been tested but never broken, challenged but never defeated. As we celebrate 20 years of resilience, we must renew our covenant with the people of Kenya. The next 20 years must be about economic justice, building an economy that works for the mama mboga, the border rider, and the village farmer that we envisioned in Vision 2030. Social protection, healthcare for every family, education for every child, dignity for every worker, defending devolution, ensuring resources reach where our people live and our people dream for a better future. Unity and inclusivity, a Kenya where no community is left behind and no citizen feels like a stranger in their own country. And above all, ODM must nurture a new generation of leaders, men and women who will carry this flame of reform into the future. In conclusion, mabwana na mabibi, na wale wasio na mabibi, let us remember this truth. ODM is not just a party, it is a movement. ODM is the dream. ODM is the dream of the farmer who tills his land seeking fair markets. ODM is the cry of the mother who wants health care for her children. ODM is the hope of the youth, yearning for opportunity, dignity, and justice. We must reignite the fire for the next 20 years, a fire of struggle, service, resoluteness, and victory. I foresee political jungles opening up, darkness giving way to light, and lives transformed. So let us rise, united, one people, one movement, one nation. May ODM live on. May democracy thrive. May the people of Kenya forever be free and prosperous. Long live ODM. Long live a united Kenya. ODM at 20, stronger than ever. Asanteni sana. Can I take this opportunity, please, to call my chairman, Henry Koske, to come and say a word. This is the founder chairman of the ODM. Chamge?
Missing.
Still missing.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto, all protocols observed, ODM members, mko tayari? Haya, asante sana. I don't have a speech because you never warned me I'm going to make a speech. So I'll be very brief. First, let me take this opportunity to congratulate ODM for making it to 20 years. I think you are only second to KANU, and quite a number of all of us also came from KANU. So congratulations, and as the SG said, not the current one. Always wondered what would have happened if the banana ended up with the other side and they became bananas. And then, fast forward, after the campaign, we campaigned so hard. Team. Now we in Kanu, together with the president and Honorable Musalia, and quite a number, with the LDP group. At that time, we in Kanu, we had lost 2002 elections, and actually the government that came in persecuted us, particularly people from Rift Valley. They were sacked, those in the military, those in the police force, those in parastatals. They were sacked left, right, center, until, I think the president remembers this, we said, please, enough is enough. Don't continue, persecuting us. And we tried to create a dialogue to stop the persecution, because we had lost quite a number of people. Imagine, there was 20 senior police officers who were one day told, out, get out. And they were sitting in their cars doing nothing, waiting to be. So when I hear sometimes stories about blah, 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 I wonder, do they really remember? Anyway, so we teamed up with LDP. So immediately after the referendum, they were sacked. The LDP group who had joined the part of NAC, they were sacked. So we were happy. Now we could work together. They have been sacked, we have been victimized, so we teamed up. Fast forward, we went round after winning the no, and we said, this can be a party, the Orange Democratic Movement. And Your Excellency, you will remember in Kisumu, that big, huge rally where they were singing, Ruto, Ruto, Ruto. Because you had done a very good campaign, so they thought we won the election, we won the no, because you did a wonderful campaign. So we said we can go and form a party. So we agreed to go and meet in Machakos, this place called Kwashambungo. I don't know that I pronounced that correctly. But we went there and agreed in principle that let's form a party. Now, Your Excellency, His Excellency the President had shown presidential ambitions. Raila was there, Mudavadi was there, Achiba Lala was there, Hormonyaga was there. They had said they want to be president. And you can see, in ambition, you must be ambitious. Kuwa presidency rahisi. So they went into a room themselves to discuss who will be. I think they must have been discussing, you might tell us, they must have been discussing who would be chairman. But then they agreed that none of them who has presidential ambitions should be chair. So they said, who should be given the interim chairman? So Julius Kemboy, who was one of the lawyers who was inside, and Otieno Kachwang was also in the meeting. Julius was the first one to come and said, would you like to be chairman? I said, of course, yes, I don't mind being chairman. And then Otieno Kachwang followed. Otieno Kachwang came to try and convince me to be chairman. I was already convinced. So we agreed. They came. The rest of the positions, I think, you came later. After that was Shambungo as acting secretary. Then we went to Naivasha to strategize now on what the party principles and values are. And we had a very big argument on who should be members. Individual members, and of course Uhuru and Kanu and Gideon were still in Kanu. We were also in Kanu. And they said, let's have also corporate members. And for a whole 2 days we talked about who should be member, corporate or individuals only. Raila was for individuals. We eventually, we talked over, we agreed, let's have both individual members and corporate. So we went out of our way to accommodate Kanu. So we came in, and then we now came to Nairobi to register the ODM. And we found out that a mischievous character called Manyara, with maybe I can't call it, maybe a sinister motive, had registered our party. How come? Who is this Manyara? We haven't even known him. I think I've met the character twice. Is he here? Papi, he's around, eh? One day he will tell us his motive. So we decided, no, let's register ODM Kenya. So we went ahead and registered ODM Kenya. It was not easy. The government refused to register. But through connections here and there, Janet, the first executive officer, knew some people in the Register of Societies, and we managed to register ODM Kenya. But because we could not be officials, because if we had become officials, we would have had to resign from our seats as members of parliament. So we took, but a little bit, they even refused to give us a certificate of registration. So we went and I climbed up Sharia House, there's a wall, there's not a wall, it's a barrier. And we got the certificate anyway. And I was trying to carry to show the people. And the young people from Kibera, you know how they are. They wanted to grab the certificate. And I was holding it in my hands, and they eventually broke the glass, and it cut my hand here. I have a mark. And then we went with it to Uhuru Park, trying to have a small rally. And the police came and tear gassed us. First time nilikula tear gas. Kwa hivyo kama hujakula tear gas, hujapata chochote. Anyway, so we registered the party under Manso and I don't know who else. Maybe the president knows. I don't know all of them. You know, age is catching up on me. But we got so we went to Panafric Hotel. At that time, there was still push and we were still pulling. Uhuru was still pulling, but I don't know what he wanted, and we had given corporate members. So I called him. I said, Uhuru, go back to your people. Don't come and harass us here. Go back to Kano and build You are based there. We will remain here. And then Kalonzo also, and Mutula Senior, still continued wanting, kumbe they knew. The next thing, they ran away with the party. That Dan Manso. Huh? So we were partyless. We were ODM but without any party. They had run away with the party. So now we thought of, what shall we do? What shall we do? Imanyara has registered the other one. Here is ODMK is gone. So we thought, well, let's register for ODM Asili or ODM Original. So we were still debating. But the party leader, Honorable Raila, and may his soul rest in peace, you know, he was a good thinker. So one day, when we were still talking, there was a restaurant somewhere we used to go sometimes on Lenana Road. He said, you know, kumbe he had actually decided to approach Imanyara and, well, ask what you want. The rest you can conclude. So Raila told us, we have the party. We have the ODM now. So, hallelujah. Now we are back to, we have not formed the ODM Original or ODM that. So we continued now as a party towards the election of 2007. And I can tell you, it was a hot election. And I can tell you, we fought on principles. We came up with that Maisha Bora. What was it again? Chungwa Moja, Maisha Bora. We came up with that one. But let me tell you also, at that time, there was also this idea of Machimbo. Machimbo. Everybody thought Machimbo meant, you know, some ethnic, you know, occupation, particularly in Rift Valley. Nobody wanted to hear that. No, we wanted Machimbo. But our brothers thought Machimbo means being expelled from an area. So we thought of, what shall we do? What is the next word? What is the next one? So one day, Rosemary, is Rosemary here? Rosemary Adinga came up with the word ukatusi. So that's how, you know, a young lady comes up with an alternative. We were wondering, what shall we call it? Is there no other word other than Machimbo? Maybe we should have asked watu wa pwani watuambie. But imagine a young lady from Nyanza came up with the word ukatusi. Up to now, I don't even know what ukatusi means, but we used it anyway as ukatusi. So because one of the principles of ODM was devolution, to have a devolved government. We used to say we don't want an imperial presidency, we want to devolve power and resources. Fast forward, 2013, 2007, of course, everybody knows, you know, the results. What happened? We were beaten. The president and I, we were still arguing with Kivuitu about 6 o'clock. Then the police came and clobbered us, beaten us, and Itere, who was then the commandant of the JSU, I think he was rewarded eventually. He became commissioner of police came and grabbed Ruto, took him to State House to go and announce the winner, in quotes. And we were left almost often. We went to some place near Hurlingham there, just to watch the swearing in at 7 p.m. So we watched, then we decided, what shall we do? As we were coming out, the country erupted. People started, the fighting that happened, the post-election violence. And then, worse still, they came back and said we had planned it. And case one, the president, Sang, and myself, we ended up 8,000 kilometers away in a court. The most unjust thing I always ask the president, shall we ever get justice for being dragged all the way to 8,000 kilometers to be charged over? Can you imagine one of the items on the charges is rape? Imagine me being charged for rape. Anyway, I don't want to go into too much history. So that is that. And then, of course, after 2013, His Excellency the President formed URP, and he gave me a ticket, actually. He told me, I give you the Senate ticket, direct nomination. But because I was trying to relocate, and go and leave ODM to start on. And then, after I had handed over, there was going to be an election. Nyanyo, my friend Nyanyo, convinced me, oh, why don't you wait and have something to eat before you go? So I agreed. He couldn't go to buy. So I agreed to wait. So we went to eat. And then now when we came back, it was voting time. I said, I'm still a member. Let me vote. While I'm trying to cast my vote, some guns, goons, in black, we call the men in black, came and kicked out everything. I rushed out to my car. I don't know what happened at that time, but that was almost my last function or my last activity in ODM. I went away, and the rest is history. So I went, and I changed the party now to now URP was then later immediately after that Jubilee then I became a Jubilee member. Then I became a UDM member. I'm currently a UDM member. But I must congratulate you again. And fair society, a prosperous society, a society that we can all proudly say we belong. And now, since you said, or the MC here said, we want to take stock of what you have done and what the future is going to be, or what the future should be. As you might call them, tell me, for the sake of a better word, ethnic communities. And we want a united country. We want a united nation. We want a prosperous country. And we can only do that if we remain united. I know, Anyang'o, you don't like me to say this, but now the future is the future. You know, Baba left you in the broad-based government. Stay in broad-based government. You know, in 2013, they formed something called CORD. 2017, they formed, what was it? NASA. That Musalia was NASA. And then 2022, we formed what? Azimio. So, the 2027, and I said, I'm going to offer you advice from an old man like me. 2027, broad-based. Broad-based. You can baptize it, but broad-based. Under His Excellency, William Samuel Ruto. Because I have given that history, and we have seen we have been together anyway. In spirit and in everything. Maybe in different parties, but we have been together. Let us stay together as one nation. What did you say? One word, one. You can continue saying one nation, one word, one. Bas. Asanteni sana. This guy, when we were looking for a slogan for Tuko Tayari, he's the one who came up with the word Tuko Tayari. And near Methodist guest house there, and we said Tuko Tayari. And the other side said Tuko Pamoja. So they always copied. But stay in the broad-based government. Stay in the coalition of William Samuel Ruto. Whatever you will call it broad-based coalition. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my chair. One more clap for my chair. Asanteni sana, asanteni sana. I want to call to the stage now, after you've listened to my chair giving you a very good history of the ODM. I concentrated on the ODM's ideology, and he gave you a very good history. Now you are learned from here. BA, MA, to the other side. Thank you very much. Let me call my dear friend Mumbi Ngaru. Wapi huyu mama? Aje hapa, azungumze na wananchi kama kawaida. Tafadhali. Haya, Mumbi is a very special lady to us in ODM. Come, my dear. And you hear her voice, you'll want her to speak up the morning time, but come.
Your Excellency, President William Ruto, thank you for remembering my name outside there. Yes. Our party leader, Dr. Oburu Odinga, Senator, and the family of my departed party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, and all of us, all protocol observed. ODM, 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 na hatubanduki. Thank you very much, my friend, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. He was my lecturer at the University of Nairobi. Then he nominated me into the council of Thika Municipal Council, and I later became the mayor. I am here as a founder member of ODM. And as the story of merging the parties was done, the folding of LDP, the files, the names, the offices were done by this small girl, Mumbi Ngaru. The Gen Zs probably don't understand that even in age, we were Gen Zs at one particular time. That time, nobody in my region would touch ODM. Even today, I cannot be a candidate anywhere because I'll give others reason to insult me, not vote me, but demoralize me. And have worked behind the scenes. And as the story is told, I can tell it better. It's not for today. Your Excellency, President William Ruto, I didn't know I was going to have this opportunity, but I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for honoring my departed party leader, Honorable Raila Odinga. It was a very difficult time for me because him and my husband, Dr. Ngaru, they left each other exactly 6 months. Dr. Ngaru left, Raila Odinga came to bury him, and then the difference between them of their parting is only 6 months. I am not going to wail more than they believed, but I felt the gap. Thank you, Modoni, my daughter, wherever you are seated on the somewhere. We had to come and honor Raila Odinga. And again, Your Excellency, broad-based is not known in the region I come from. And when you do other things, remember, we are there. We have Akamau, we have Mwangi, Maina, we have so many of them. We are a part of the ODM that is in broad-based government. I thank you very much. Thank you again and for giving me this opportunity. Many people have left from my region. I think at the top there, I am one of them that are left, and we are not going anywhere. Dr. Senator Oburu Odinga, we are orphans with our chair of orphans, Honorable Junet. Remember, you have orphans, kwa Mrima. Remember, you have orphans everywhere. And the legacy that you can hold dear for Baba is to make sure that you have all people from all the regions here in ODM. That was Baba's wish. I am not going to say Baba told me this, but I'm sure if you look for people who he talked to, the deep of deep, you will find my name there. When we were doing ODM and Governor Joho, I know you are a founder member because I know where we sat. I know where we folded the files. I know. So remind them that we belong. With those many, from my heart, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, the audience. I guess we have already given you the history of ODM, the experiences of leaders like my chairman, Henry Koske. Now it is time to come to the present day ODM. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, I want to ask the ODM of today, under the competent leadership of Oburu Odinga, the party leader now, with the inspiration of the officers of the ODM now, may I take this opportunity, therefore, to hand over to Junet to now conduct the rest of the discussions. I thank you very much for listening. I thank you very much for your patience. Today is a day of the ODM. If we are here up to 5 in the morning, so be it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Governor of Kisumu County. You know, we were calling the founder members. Sio watu ya mkono ya founder members. Governor Joe alikuwa mtu ya mkono ya founder members that time. When I checked the records, but he will explain. The founder members were here, watu ya mkono walikuwa natembea na hawa. Sasa hiyo mtu ya mkono. Anyway, but we will explain. On a light note. So, I think we have heard from the former chairman. He's given a long history. And former chairman, I also want to grow old. Because pray for me, I become as old as your age. Because there are some things you've said here. If I say myself, I can be skinned here alive. But because of your age, you can go with it without anybody talking to you. Then we have our former chair of the election board, Honorable Franklin Bett. I think in the interest of time, we will ask him to allow us and then Beatrice School also. The current officials of ODM are here. They have been speaking since Thursday. But it will be good to hear their voice for 1 minute or 2 minutes so that we can give the other guests time to speak also. So I want to call upon our Secretary General, Honorable Edwin Sifuna, to come and say one word so that now we can invite the others also to say a word. Then we can hear the founder member who became the President of the Republic of Kenya.
Thank you, Honorable Junet, Your Excellency the President, my party leader, the Senator for Siaya, the Honorable Dr. Oburu Oginga. It is true what Junet says, Your Excellency. We've been speaking from Thursday. I am here to do only 2 things. First of all, on behalf of all of us who call ourselves ODM members today, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all the founder members of ODM. You've given us something that we take pride in, and we are hoping and praying that in 20 years' time, maybe I will be standing the way the governor for Kisumu has stood here to tell stories about the journey of ODM. The next 20 years. Secondly, Your Excellency, yes, Your Excellency, you know why. The Honorable Fourth President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, he has sent me his message here. I'm not going to say anything other than read his message. With your kind permission, Your Excellency, because he's a founder member and he was not able to join us today. I'll be very quick. This is a message from the former President, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, during the ODM 20th anniversary celebrations in Mombasa. To the ODM family, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by thanking the leadership of the Orange Democratic Movement for inviting me to join you this evening as you mark your 20th anniversary. I had hoped to join you in person, but due to engagements booked earlier, I could not make it. In fact, that was an issue we were to discuss with my brother when he got back. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Even then, I celebrate with you, my brothers and sisters. I vividly remember the numerous meetings and engagements that gave life to the Orange Democratic Movement. Indeed, it was a movement born not out of political convenience, but out of conviction. A broad coalition then of political leaders who rallied the No campaign against the 2005 Kenyan Constitution. Tulikuwa tunaitwa Pentagon. It was a movement whose ideals began to shape Kenya's democratic journey. A journey that began 20 years ago when we joined hands with my brother, the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, when he was the Liberal Democratic Party leader. I was the leader of the opposition in Kano. His Excellency William Ruto, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, Najib Balala, and the late Joseph Nyaga. When we came together to form this movement, we did so not out of ambition, but out of conviction. Conviction that Kenya does deserve better, that our people deserve justice, dignity, and equal opportunity. As we moved to the 2007 election under the leadership of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, the ODM was founded. It was founded as a voice of the voiceless, a rallying point for all who desire true democracy, constitutional reform, justice, good governance. It was built on the belief that leadership is not about power, but about service, that progress is not about individuals, but about people working together for the common good. So you see, we believed that Kenya's strength lies in her diversity and that no single citizen should ever feel excluded from the promise of our nation because of where they come from, what they believe, their religion, or who they are. Allow me to share the core principles that we stood for at the time. Number one was democracy and good governance. We believed that sovereignty belonged to the people. We envisioned a Kenya where leadership is accountable, where power is not imposed but entrusted, and where government exists to serve and not to rule. I remember the conviction that drove us that democracy must never again be taken for granted in this country. We fought for free and fair elections, for transparent institutions, and for a culture of leadership guided by integrity and service. That spirit remains alive today. That spirit gave birth to the Orange Democratic Movement that we are celebrating here today. Number two was social justice and equity. ODM has always stood for social justice and equity, a Kenya where every person, regardless of their background, has a fair shot at success. We knew that political freedom without social justice was incomplete. Three, human rights. In the face of persecution, intimidation, and imprisonment, as the leaders then led by my brother, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, we stood tall in defending the human rights and freedoms of all Kenyans. Our unity under the Orange Movement taught us that the fight for freedom is not just about political space, but about the dignity of every person, the right to speak freely, to worship, to assemble, and to live without fear. Three, or is it five, economic justice. ODM was and continues to be an unwavering movement in its pursuit of economic justice, the idea that growth must be inclusive, and prosperity shared. In the interest of time, Your Excellency, if you watch this, I'm going to skip to the last paragraph because I can see the Honorable Junet behind me. Wanachama wa ODM, Today, as you celebrate this milestone, my heart is emotionally heavy as I remember my brother and friend and compatriot, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. May his soul rest in peace. His absence today is deeply felt, but his presence is forever etched in our hearts and in the history of our beloved nation, Kenya. Baba was not just a leader of ODM, he was the spirit of its struggle, the embodiment of courage, endurance, and unwavering faith in the Kenyan dream. His courage, resilience, and selflessness shaped not just this movement, but the very course of Kenya's political evolution. Let us keep alive his fight for democracy, accountability, and inclusion. Let us make real his vision of a Kenya where no child goes hungry, where justice is not for the privileged few, and where every Kenyan, young or old, has an equal opportunity to thrive. May the next phase of ODM be a testament of renewal, growth, and steadfast commitment to building a Kenya that truly belongs to all her citizens. Thank you, God bless you, God bless ODM, and God bless our beloved country, Kenya. His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, CGH, 4th President of the Republic of Kenya. I thank you.
Thank you very much, SG. We have received the message from the former President, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. I don't know whether he was a member of Pentagon, but we shall see. The next speaker is, let me call the distinguished chair of our party, the Honorable Gladys Wanga, to say something in 1 minute.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and founder member of the ODM party, our party leader, Dr. Oburu Oginga, distinguished founder members, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is not a night for long speeches because speeches have been made, and I think the highlights have been done by our founders who have described the journey that ODM has walked to get to 20 years and before then. And the lesson I've learned is that the journey was not an easy journey. It was a tough journey. But for a long time, the members held together. And in this time of transition, I think the biggest lesson I pick is that we must hold together because everyone has a role to play if we are going to move the party to the next 20 years. The other lesson I've seen is it was not devoid of disagreement. I think people did not necessarily have the same view of matters all the time. But despite that, people sat on a table. I was listening. We went to that place in Ukambani. We went to Naivasha. We argued for 2 days over a single issue. And I think we must embrace that conversation, that hard discussion, so that we come out with a single place where we all belong and we move forward together. Finally, ODM has been foundationed on partnerships. We have partnered in 2007, we went into the election. In 2013, we built partnerships under CODE. In 2017, we built partnerships under NASA. In 2022, we built partnerships under Azimio. And as we move into the future, we must continue to build partnerships with people who are like-minded so that we can move together, because we will never or cannot really walk alone. Asanteni sana. It is not a night of long speeches. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Your Excellency, with your permission, before I call the two deputy party leaders and our longest-serving chair, there is a new elder in town, Your Excellency. There's an elder who has been crowned recently in Jerusalem. He's called Mr. Raila Odinga Jr. Let him come and say a word, Your Excellency, with your permission.
Hello. Sorry, I still don't know the correct distance to standing from the microphone. Your Excellency, maybe you'll show me. Inanisumbua sana, but I'll try my best. I've prepared a speech, but I've had to summarize it. So, with your permission, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, our newly minted ODM party leader, Honorable Oburu Oginga, congratulations. Founders and members of the Orange Democratic Movement, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. On behalf of my family, and especially my mother, I bring to you our warm greetings and heartfelt gratitude. She has been deeply touched and moved by the kindness, comfort, and immense love you have shown us during this season. Tonight is in many ways bittersweet. Baba looked forward to seeing the ODM family gather to celebrate 20 years of an idea he believed in with every fiber of his being. He is not here, but I stand here strengthened by the love you have shown him and the love you continue to show us. Some may wonder why I'm here, even as we continue to observe the 40 days of mourning. The truth is, Baba would have never had allowed me to stay away. He would have called me in his familiar tone, Kembo, where are you? And so tonight, I am here because he raised us to stand up, to show up, and to keep moving forward, no matter the season. Thanks. I cannot speak about ODM without speaking about the struggle that gave birth to it. I was literally born into this struggle. As a child of the fight for democracy, raised in a home shaped by sacrifice. I remember the first time I truly met Baba. I was 11. I had just returned home from school. At that time, we lived in Kenya High School, where my mother taught, and I saw a compound filled with many people, just the way people are right now. When I got into a house, I saw a man with a thick beard who resembled the one on the photographs on the wall, and he was holding my brother and sister. He was a stranger to me, yet he was a bit familiar. To be honest, by this point of my life, I had reconciled with the fact that I'd never get to meet my father. That day I learned that Baba had been away not by choice, but because he was fighting for Kenya, for my entire family, so that my entire family could be proud and grow up proud. At this point, I'd just like to call members of the Odinga family, if you could just stand where you are, just to be recognized. We have Honorable Ruto Odinga. We have Honorable Winnie Kazi Odinga. We have Jaoko Odinga. We have my mom, Mama Judy, Wangi Sankara Kucho, Wangi Pauline Kucho, Mano Nyangi, Wangi Nyangi Kucho. So, Dr. And we have Honorable Dr. Oburu Oginga. So, these are the Odingas who have come to join with you guys. Please sit down, and if I didn't mention your name, Pauline. Tonight we mark 20 years of Orange Democratic Movement, a movement that has shaped our democracy and inspired a generation. I stand here not only as a member of the ODM family, but as a son who lived through the journey that built this party. My father, Baba, Raila Amolo Odinga, believed deeply in a just, fair, and united Kenya. ODM was his vehicle of advancing that hope, and it is an honor to celebrate that milestone, even in his absence. He taught us that freedom is earned, unity is built, and a dream of a better Kenya must always be kept alive. As we look forward to the next 20 years, let us recommit ourselves to the values that brought us here: democracy, equity, development, and dignity for all. Let us empower youth, protect our constitution, and work together across parties and generations to deliver opportunity to every Kenyan. The orange flame still burns. The journey continues. God bless you. God bless ODM. Just one more thing before I go. I've been at home supporting Mama, but Mama is strong. I've also come here to support Dr. Buru, but Dr. Buru is strong. The Odingas, we are one big family, and we are strong. We have a dream that was there from before, from Jaramogi to Baba, and we're still continuing, we're still fighting for this dream. We're together as one family because I'm strong, and even Winnie, my sister, she's also strong. She's started her journey, and we'll be with her, holding her hands. Asanteni.
Deputy Party Leader Osoti, 1 minute.
Your Excellency, the President of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, our party leader, Dr. Buru Odinga, Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi, all the officials of the party, and now wana ODM wote. Good evening. Mine is very brief. One is just to thank the founder members of the party for having founded one of the biggest parties will come to number 2. ODM. And I think if we come back here 20 years, some of us will be alive. We want to see a strong ODM. An ODM that will continue to perform its role as a people-centered political party. People that are going to benefit from the progress of the party. So I just want to pray, as Gladys has said, that our founder sat down and agreed on many things. We will also sit down and reflect on the next 20 years to have a strong political party called ODM. Asanteni sana.
In form of recognition, all the MCAs who are here, you can stand up so that you can be recognized. My colleagues, members of parliament who are here, no mkono namna hii, wakubwa, His Excellency is the governor, so the chairman is here of the Council of Governors. In the interest of time, You are the only ones who can talk at your own time. The rest are looking for time. So please donate this time to the visitors. Then lastly, Simbarati, my deputy party leader, Dr. Kamoa.
Your Excellency, the President, our party leader, Dr. Oburu Odinga, the founder members of the party, the only party that I know I've grown through in my 18 years in politics. Na wanachungwa. ODM. ODM. From the onset, let me thank the founders. You gave us a vehicle, a promise to the founders, a promise to the ODM fraternity that we will stand for the principles that you people you founded our party in. Number two, you know, nothing is easy as it looks. Everything takes longer than we expect. And if anything can go wrong, it will at the worst possible moment. But as long as we are there, we want to promise that our party, ODM, in another 20 years when we're going to celebrate 40 years, I'm sure that I'll be there because I have around 55 years to die at 100 if Jesus Christ has not come back. Therefore, for those one of you who are here, Mr. President, you know, I didn't know that you were deputy party leader. You were. That's what Mheshimiwa Chairman said. I remember Mheshimiwa Franklin Bett, you gave me a certificate after I closed Serena that day, 2013. You know, in ODM, that it's only party where you are supposed to be given a ticket in some hotel, in some petrol station. But I want to tell you, this roundup, we will make sure the certificate you have won the ticket at nomination, you get your certificate. That one will be able to do it. Finally, I wanted to just recognize there is a gentleman here, Kamau Waraila. This guy has worked with Baba. And there is one person called Morocco. Morocco, Baba, while you are doing what? Away. Morocco. Again, there is a trustee, and nimeambiwa atakuwa recognized. Wana ODM, tukae pamoja, kuwa na imani, tutatengeneza serikali inayokuja. Lazima tukae kwa hiyo meza. Asanteni, Mungu awabariki.
Asante sana. Board of Trustees wako hapa, Mheshimiwa Amos wako hapa, Agnes Zani, Joshua Kawino, and our party leader, Dr. Oburu Odinga. Now, nataka kualika the longest serving chairman of ODM, Honorable John Mbadi, who is currently the Minister for Finance of the Republic of Kenya. John Mbadi Ngongo.
Wanachungwa hoye. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. Yes, I am the longest serving chairman of ODM to date. But there is one thing that
One is that one thing that I want to appeal to the membership of ODM on. We could disagree, we could have positions, we could grumble, but the moment the party leader spoke, that became the rule. And I want you to continue in that trajectory. Let us disagree, let us talk. But the moment Dr. Buru Odinga speaks, if he will still be our party leader, which I pray that he continues as the party leader, let us listen to him. Lastly, again, I want to plead with you. Raila Odinga has brought this movement very far. This movement, this is not a political party, Your Excellency. This is a movement. And a movement moves. Meaning it came from somewhere, it has reached somewhere. Let us not behave and act like we are starting all over again. We must start from where Raila has left us going forward. Let us not start all over again. We must appreciate that Raila has left us with a constitution 2010. That is something he really fought so hard for. Raila has made tremendous progress with us. I want to just conclude by saying that this party is built on the principles of agitation. That we went to the street, people lost their lives, people have been maimed. But by the end of the day, there was also boardroom politics that Baba promoted. Baba believed in dialogue. And boardroom politics, even though as we were fighting for independence, we were in the streets and fighting people, Mau Mau and the rest, Yanka Virondo and the rest. But for us to get independence, people went to Lancaster, sat on a table, agreed. For us to get the constitution we have today, after agitation and fighting in the streets, people went to Bomas of Kenya. People went to Kilifi. People went to Naivasha. People spoke. We went to Kenya School of Government, what used to be called KIA, and discussed. Why can't we continue the same today? Even though you want us to go to the street, but we should remember that there is also value in boardroom. 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 Thank you very much.
Thank you, Waziri. Now, governors who are here, Your Excellency, we have Governor Otuoma from Busia. Let us recognize them officially. We have the governor for Garissa, Governor Nadif Jama, the governor for Kajiado County, Governor Olelenku, then my governor, George Mbogo Chila Yako, Nyakorja Mboko, which we are okay. Then there is the governor for Kilifi. Here is Kilifi or Mombasa? Kilifi. Yeah, Mheshimiwa Mungaru. I think those are the governors that are here. So in the interest of time, Your Excellency, now before the experts went to your side, Your Excellency, to help you to work in your government, we had two deputy party leaders. We had Governor Joho and Governor Paranya. We want to close with those two. Governor Joho, please come so that you can say one word. If they remain in ODM, I mean if they remain outside government, wangesimama president, lakini zaidi najua makende mekunjana. Sasa they can remain.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, huyu Junet one, Honorable Mumbi Ngaru said it here, that she confirms that I was a founding member. For a moment, when Junet was listing down founding members, I even rethought of there may be a new description of founding, because my understanding is to have been there when it was being conceptualized and planned and actualized. So wakati tulikuwa number 1 Imperial Hotel before the rally, where Najib Balala made the announcement and then followed up by a meeting at Imperial Hotel that evening that led to go to Machakos. I thought I was there. I thought I was there. And by definition, I would qualify to be a founding member. I would understand at that point it was difficult to notice me because I was a nobody. Some young guy from Kisauni who Baba believed in was there in some meeting somewhere and apitwa tu hapo. But even today you want to say you cannot notice me when I am the minister in the government of the day today. And then also you will remember that in 2008, Chairman, the biggest surprise in that election that you talked about was none other than Hassan Ali Joho. I was in my late 20s, and for the first time, I had gone to parliament, and I was elected as the National Organizing Secretary of ODM in 2008. Mulikuwa wapi? Wengine mulikuwa wapi? So sometimes when you see us agitating with certain issues, it's because we believe in this party. We've sacrificed so much for this party, and we've suffered so much. President William Ruto.
Yeah, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen, and ODM hamjambo. I will be very short because I couldn't believe that we will be here today without Raila Amolo Odinga, especially when he was planning for this particular occasion, when he was alive 1 month ago. But there it is. Your Excellency, when Mbadu was here, you forgot to say, you know history. You forgot to say how he became chairman of ODM. How I took him, I hit him in my car to take him to Naivasha. And Raila was asking, why did you come with this guy? And he knew why I had traveled with him to Naivasha. But that's history for another day. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the party, what I will pray, Raila, those people who knew Raila, who are close to Raila, Raila never liked violence. People thought Raila was a violent person, but he didn't like it. It's only people who were around him were violent. Raila didn't like controversies. And that's why when there was controversies in the party, he would make sure that those controversies are no more. They are sorted out as quick as possible. I want us to remain together so that we remain as a big party. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana, Waziri. Your Excellency, I want to call upon the Governor of Mombasa to call now Honorable Musalia. Before that, for 1 minute, Your Excellency, I want to explain something. Your Excellency, there is this thing that you have done together with Baba, which is the 10-point agenda that we signed at KICC. And a committee was formed to implement that process, led by Honorable Agnes Zani. I want to report here that Agnes Zani and her committee has reported, and they have reported progress. I met them together with the party leader, Dr. Buru Oginga. There were issues of compensation to our youths who lost their lives or who were injured in the elections from 2017 election to 2022 elections and beyond. And a committee was formed to compensate our youths who lost their lives, but the courts stopped that committee from doing that work. We want to request the judiciary to dispense off with that case urgently, so that those families and those youths of ours who lost their elections in the 2017 election and 2022 to get their money so that they can help themselves. We cannot compensate life, but at least some reparation to the families and the people who are injured in those processes, Your Excellency. Secondly, Your Excellency, the other agenda that you had signed with His Excellency, my former leader, my departed leader, was about devolution. And in the last budget that we passed in Parliament, Baba gave us instructions that we should negotiate with your side so that they can increase the devolution fund to 450 billion shillings. And at that time, it was at 385. We have increased it last budget to 415 from 385 by 30 billion shillings. Now, this financial year, when the budget comes, we want to take it, if possible, to where the wishes of Baba was, which is 450 billion shillings. And that is part of the implementation of the 10-point agenda. The other issue was about constitution and rule of law. Since that thing was signed, I have not seen anything that has happened contrary to the constitution. I have not seen any abduction that happened. So that is why we want to adhere to that, so that we implement constitutionalism. And when the committee reported to my party leader, 50% of what was agreed in that 10-point agenda was implemented. We are remaining with 50%. And if you implement the remaining 50%, then we will have completed everything that we agreed with the Baba, and we will be happy, and our party will be very happy. Lastly, Your Excellency, it is for a fact. It is for a fact. It is not any insinuation that Baba left us in the broad-based government. And we will be there, and we will make sure that the broad-based government works for the people of Kenya. We will hold it accountable as a government in Parliament, and we will make sure that it delivers to the Kenyan people. And if this government performs and does its work, as Hassan Joe has said, governments in this country are formed through coalitions. If we form a coalition together, if we form a coalition together based on the 10-point agenda that if it's implemented, and then the government of the broad-based delivers for Kenyans, ODM was not formed as an NGO. ODM was formed to gain political power. It's not an NGO. It is a political party that was formed by Baba, Raila Amolo Odinga, so that we can get political power. And political power can be gotten in many ways, other than extrajudicial means. Any other way, you can come through the window, through the door, through the roof, through anywhere. We want to be in power. We don't want to be in the street anymore, Mr. Speaker. No, Mr. President. Mr. President. With those few remarks, I want to acknowledge my committee that was planning this 20th anniversary. You can stand up so that you are seen, because you have done a wonderful job. You are men and women of high Standard, nimewashukuru sana for the support and for what you've done for the party. Mpigie makofi committee hii ambayo wametengeneza sherehe. Kwa hayo machache na mengi, wacha nialike gavana wa ugatuzi wa jimbo la Mombasa, Abdul Samad Sharif Nasir, who is our deputy party leader. ODM. ODM. Karibu gavana.
Mimi niliona Junet atajigamba yeye ni founder, kumbe yeye pia ni kama mimi tu. Hatuna tofauti. Your Excellency, kabla sijaongea mambo mengine, unajua sisi tunaamini watu ikiwa wanakula pia wakikuombea Mungu si vibaya. Umeniambia pale ya kwa wewe ulikuwa mwenyekiti katika bunge kama mimi, kisha ukawa deputy party leader kama mimi. Sasa ile ubaki ni wewe ni rais, sijui huko pengine huko mbele kutakuwaje, sio? Lakini kwanza nitoe tashwishi yoyote. Hata hii dina ilipokuwa inapangwa, hatukuipanga kwa fikra zetu peke yake. Tukipanga dina hii na uwalishi, tena ulikuwa umealikwa katika sherehe ya leo tulipokuwa pale Mama Ngina. The invite was signed by the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, drafted after Central Committee ambao tunakaa chini. Hawa waungwana walioko hapa tunakaa katika hiyo kamati. Tukakubaliana na Ongwena kaambiwa weka hiyo barua. It is only after Baba left us tukasema ile sherehe ya Mama Ngina isiwe ni ya founders, iwe ni ya ODM members. Lakini kwa vile wewe mwenyewe ulikuwa umetualika hii dinner in honor of ODM and your colleagues, tulisema tuendelee nayo mpangilio huu. And I want to congratulate you and the other founding members. It is, tumesikia founder chair vile alivyozungumza pahali ameitoa hii chama. Sisi kwanza kama wana ODM ni kuwapatia kongole na kuwashukuru kukifikisha chama mpaka hapa kilipofika. Kisha sasa mimi ni kuweza kuelezea na kuweka kiunaga ubaga nia na madhumuni tulionao sisi. Na nimesikia wengine wakisema ya kwa tunazunguka Kenya, bado kuna kaunti nyingine sijafika. Mimi nitafika, Simbarati ataenda kwengine, Gladys atafika kwengine, na mwingine na kwengine. Nia na madhumuni ni kuwa tutakifanya hiki chama cha ODM kiwe na nguvu zaidi na zaidi na zaidi, kama vile tulivyoweza kuachiwa mamlaka hayo na Baba. Kwa hikma yake yeye mwenyewe Baba, na nashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu, kwa hikma yake yeye mwenyewe Baba, katika Wakenya wote milioni takriban 50, katika wale walioona ya kwa nafaa kuwa deputy leader mmoja wa chama, ilikuwa ni mimi. I don't take that for granted. Na I want to assure we will move this journey together with each and every one of the members who are here. But nisipozungumza honor and service to country comes before self. And in the spirit of being an honorable man, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, I remember very, very clearly, it was a very somber mood when we were in Addis. Tulienda Addis, mimi nilienda kule kwa sababu ya kumpatia Baba. I had no vote in Addis. But I went there to give him that moral support. na tulikuwa pale na baadhi ya wabunge wengine na magavana wengine. And even in everything else, you organized for a dinner which we were hoping was going to be a dinner to celebrate his victory. But Baba came out very strong, and in his own words, he did not mince words. Kwa kauli yake mwenyewe alisema ya kwa I want it to be known that one William Samoei Ruto went out of his way to make sure, and he provided me all resources that were there. And I want us to remind each other, amongst those people who did not want us to do that, mpaka wengine wakafika katika bunge kuanza kusema tunataka kujua hesabu ilitumika ni vipi. Let us not mince words. We know who the enemies of Baba were. Tuache kutafuna meno. Sisi si vibogoyo, na wala mdomo wetu ulimi haujakwangurika ikawa hatuwezi kuongea. Is it not others who even castigated your government, wakasema ya kwa nini pesa ilitumika Baba aweze kufika katika AU awe nini, ilhali ya kwa candidates wengine wote walipata support ya serikali zao. Hii ya Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, kwa sababu yeye alikuwa anasema ya kwa we need to have a transformative Africa, a transformative Kenya, na yale yote aliweza kuyafanya. And that is the reason why tukiwa tunazunguka kuweza kuuza sera na kuimarisha chama cha ODM, we will not be talking about personalities, we will be talking about ideologies. And that is where we are here, where we are today. When we talk about the 10-point agenda, it is when our ideologies were not able to go hand in hand with each other, tulisema tukae chini tuweze kuangalia njia ambayo kwamba tunafaa kwenda. ODM is a party born of coming up with transformative ideas and coming up with a referendum for this country, the whole country, not a region, not a tribe. ODM came about social democracy, not about selfish interests. And in the spirit of everything else, kama kuna kitu tunafaa kujifunza, is that in the process of ODM growing, we were taught that this is a party that grew through revolution, and sometimes revolutions, some of them means coming from the street to the ballot. Nimeambiwa sije nikatoa mambo yote hapa nika nini. But you know, Your Excellency, I think most important, if there's one thing that ODM has taught me, is that a nation lives even when politics competes. I repeat myself, a nation lives even when politics competes. And sometimes sitting and talking is not a sign of weakness. ODM would not have reached where we are today if we failed to converse. Baba aliongea na Moi, Baba aliongea na Kibaki, Baba aliongea na Uhuru, Baba kaongea na William Samoei Ruto. And in everything else, yale ambayo kwamba yaliyoko, no one can deny and erase history. Mambo yetu ya chama msijali. Mimi nawaambia tena, nasema hapa, I think time is not on our side. I take the opportunity to welcome our Prime Cabinet Secretary aweze kuzungumza.
Thank you, Governor. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto, the party leader, of ODM, Honorable Buru Dinga, and the entire leadership of ODM, and the founder members present, good evening. I will be very brief. One, as I want to say congratulations as you hit 20. We must also acknowledge that when you are 20, you are not a toddler. ODM has come of age. It's an adult. It's a strong political movement. Secondly, I just want to highlight, following what Henry Kosgei did say, if there's one thing that I sometimes always remember, is that in the journey to a new constitution, in Naivasha, in the middle of a very heated conversation, the PNU side was insisting on a presidential system. ODM was insisting on a parliamentary system. But one thing that came into play was devolution. And when the question was put that PNU is saying that if we don't support a presidential system, that was the breaking point. And for ODM, the breaking point was devolution. And I remember in one of the very heated consultations, the late Honorable Raila Odinga came back and said, because we want a new constitution, I will cede ground on the parliamentary quest, but I will not cede ground on devolution. And indeed, that is how devolution came into being. So at one point, it was a debate, and it was a question of what was critical. The new constitution, give and take, we settled for devolution. The third thing that maybe I should highlight, it's being said here maybe lightly, but ODM under Raila has midwifed stability and transitional and smooth transition in this country. Let me repeat that. ODM has midwifed stability and smooth transition in this country. Whenever there was a crisis of untold proportions, ODM without Raila and ODM. that transition, that quest, he would always, he would always say we must find a legal way of entrenching this, dealing with this crisis. When Kofi Annan was there and all that, and we were transiting for the grand coalition government, there had to be a Kamkunji in parliament, addressed by Kofi Annan, Mkapa, and Gracia Machel. After that, there had to be a constitutional resolution for that grand coalition to have legal standing. The changes that have come through our electoral system and reform, the IBC, Raila and ODM have always spearheaded the need to anchor it in a legal process. So, why am I saying this? I am saying this because it is important when we look around that a strong nation will be anchored in the rule of law and in constitutionalism. And dialogue and conversation and coalition building is not a bad thing. What is key is that at the end of the day, let us all uphold the Constitution as we move forward. So for ODM at 20, I just repeat, you are not toddlers. You are adults. With those remarks, I think I cede ground and invite the party leader, the Honorable Oburu Oginga, to make his remarks, and thereafter invite His Excellency the President so that he can address us as we speak. ODM hoye! ODM hoye! Nasahawa! Nasahawa!
Our chief guest tonight, His Excellency, the President of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, and the Chief Minister, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, and all our party leaders present, all the ministers present, and all the leaders from ODM and all the delegates who have come and gathered this evening here for this dinner. Good evening. ODM. ODM. Yeah, I know you appear to be sleepy a little. I don't know. Nini niwafanyie iwachangamshe kidogo. I don't know what to inject. I can inject something. Now, asante. I am a founder member of this party, ODM. I know exactly how this party was started. And the president also knows exactly what happened when this party was started. This party was started out of a struggle. First of all, there was a struggle to change the constitution. When we were going for elections, in 2002, we had promised Kenyans that within 3 months after the elections, there will be a new constitution. And in that process, there was a Bomas process, which was composed of delegates from all over the country, Kenya. There was one also looking at the it came almost to the conclusion when this process was being concluded at Bomas of Kenya. And it became obvious that our side, which was proposing or fighting for parliamentary system of government and also devolution, was succeeding. And then a section of the particularly people who are in government, who are from the DP side, decided to pull out of Bomas process. They pulled out of Bomas process and made sure they actually destroyed the Bomas process. Even though resolutions had been passed on all those issues, the Bomas process became more or less like a legal constitutional reform or a new constitution. But it was not recognized by the government, and the government, and Amos Wako knows this, they made a draft called the Wako draft. The Wako draft came to Kilifi, and that Kilifi draft is what was now subjected to a referendum. That Kilifi draft did not want devolution, nor did they want a parliamentary system of government. And therefore, when the referendum came, all of us came, including KANU, to fight against that draft, Kilifi draft constitution. And when this process started, it was a very, very fierce struggle. It was a very fierce struggle because the government side, which was headed by Honorable Mwai Kibaki, were the ones leading the Kilifi draft campaign, and part of the government, which was also us. We were also part of the government because my late brother Raila was the Minister of Roads, and the President was also a minister at that time in the government. But in that struggle, when the results came out, the Kilifi draft was badly defeated. The Kilifi draft was absolutely defeated by the people of Kenya. And after the Kilifi draft was defeated by the people of Kenya, all of us were sacked from committees in parliament. All our people who were in government were sacked from the ministries. Where they were, and We were given machungwa, and the Kilifi draft people were given banana. So it was banana versus chungwa. Against the sacking of our people from positions of government. And the Kisumu Stadium was full to the brim. Kisumu Stadium was full to the brim. And I remember talking to my brother, Honorable Balala, Najib Balala. And Balala was telling me, Oburu, why don't we announce here that this movement should be translated into a political party? And I told Balala, you do it. You go and announce that this movement should now be transformed from a political movement to a political party. And when Balala mentioned it, the crowd went wild. The crowd went wild. And from there, everything else. But somebody, after the crowd went wild, went very quickly to go and reserve that name, ODM, as a political party. Went and reserved the... So when we tried now to register ODM as ODM, we found it had already been blocked by Mr. Imanyara. I think Imanyara must be around here. Now, after that is how for ODM Kenya was then founded as a result of that. The rest have been narrated. I think Honorable Henry Kosgei and the others who spoke before me have already narrated exactly what happened thereafter. So I don't want to go into details of those because you already know what happened, how the party was somehow stolen from us, and how we struggled to buy back our ODM, which we still have up to today. Now, therefore, you realize that ODM was not born out of luxury. It was born out of a struggle. It has been a long, long, long struggle. And we are now here. We are now here, and I want to say that there is no party in the world which is formed to be in the opposition. All political parties are formed to be in government. And all political parties aspire to be in government. And all political parties fight to be in government. And therefore our party is not excluded, and our party ODM is fighting to be in the government now in this broad-based arrangement, but even in future, either as ODM or in coalition with other political parties. So we cannot say that as ODM, we just want to be there. We just want to be there. We don't want power. We want power. Because how are we going to implement our policies if we don't have power? If you are going for demonstrations, so I don't want to say much more because mine was just to make a very brief speech the long speech about the history of our party were made by Governor Anyang' Nyong'o, and I think that was the major speech for today. For me, I just came to make a few remarks and invite His Excellency the President of Kenya, Honorable William Samoei Ruto, to come and address.
Tunasema Kenya mpya inawezekana. Inawezekana. Leo ni leo. Na inawezekana. Inawezekana. Leo ni leo. Kenya mpya inawezekana. Inawezekana. Leo ni leo. Nchi ambayo kuna raha na ustawi.
DJ, hapana lete mchanganyiko.
DJ, hapana lete
DJ Spider-Man. DJ Spider-Man.
Hapana lete machanganyiko. Tunataka ile wimbo lero lero nil.
Tunasema Kenya mpya inawezekana. Inawezekana. Na inawezekana. Inawezekana.
Lero ni lero.
Kenya mpya inawezekana. Inawezekana.
Lero ni lero.
Ambayo kuna raha na ustawi. Inawezekana.
Asante sana. Asante sana. Asante sana. Haya. ODM hoye. ODM hoye. Tunasema ODM. ODM. Bas. Kwanza mimi nataka nimshukuru Mungu kwa sababu ya nafasi ya kuungana na wanachungwa jioni ya leo for this ODM founder members dinner. I remember very well that when I had a conversation with Baba, and he informed me that there was going to be ODM at 20. And he asked me whether I would consider, alongside other founding members, participating. And I told him I would gladly participate, and I have reasons to. Primarily, I have three reasons why I would readily agree to participate in ODM at 20, and even, if possible, sponsor this dinner. Number one, I am a founder member of ODM, and I have no apologies to make to anybody. It is a historical fact. It is a historical fact. And I was not just a founder member. I was at the center and at the heart of the formation of ODM. Number two people have really influenced my political journey. One is former President Moi, because I first became a member of parliament in Kano. It was a difficult exercise then, because I remember when I ran for the first time, I was not a favorite of Kano that time, but I won anyway. And then we started on not a very good note with former President Moi, but finally we became friends when he discovered that I wasn't a very bad boy after all. The other person that really has influenced my political journey is Baba, the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. He encouraged me. He came to Eldoret when there was a ceremony for me to be made a Kalenjin. And I imagine he was there. Of Raila Odinga, I am one of them. This celebration would have been a carnival. It would have been something else. But as God has decided, Baba is not here with us, but we can do something about the life and time of Raila Amolo Odinga in honor of what he stood for and what he achieved. I will say a couple of things. I know it is late in the evening. I do not wish to speak for long. Many of the earlier speakers have told us extensively. Mumbingaru, Henry Koskei, Professor Peter Anyang-Nyong, our first Secretary General of ODM, and all the other founder members, including Hassan Joho, so that he stops complaining. No, let me be honest, Hassan Joho was there. I must give him that. He was there at Imperial Hotel. In fact, I remember very well when we went to this rally and the place was full. And I didn't know and you know, the rest of us were members of other parties that time. I was then the Secretary General of Kano. And so we thought maybe we need to reorganize something. But Balala did alifanya ile kitu. So then the rest is history. And so we are here, and I have just a few things to say. Number one,
Let me say three things about the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Number one, the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is a great Democrat. He believed in structured political engagement. He believed in a political party. In fact, I dare say he believed in ODM more than his supporters believed in him. Let me repeat that. Raila Odinga believed in ODM more than those of you who were his supporters, including me then, believed in him. And that is why the party stands up to today. He would do anything for ODM. He would make any sacrifice for ODM. He would bend over to accommodate people for ODM to succeed. Number two, Raila Odinga believed in Kenya. He believed in this nation called Kenya. And he made huge sacrifices for the sake of this country called Kenya. I say so, and I have two accounts. I remember when things fell apart in 2007, as Henry here said. And we had very intense negotiations. And we were very cross with the people on the other side. And we were very difficult people that time. But Raila persuaded us. In fact, when we became very difficult, he went, he negotiated, agreed, and came and faced us with a fait accompli. He told us, I am the leader of this movement. This is what I have decided for the sake of the country. That is what made Kenya move forward. I have seen him do the same. Even when we had a crisis in this country a year ago, he did the same. That is the brand of a man who believes in his nation. And he makes sacrifices to that effect. Let me also say that Raila Odinga was not a tribalist. Yes. He believed in Kenya. You know, he always extended, you know, his wings to cover as many people as possible. You've heard the story of Mumbi Ngaru here, and many other people. And so that is the person, the man, Raila Odinga. And so as we celebrate 20 years of ODM, we celebrate the life of the party leader of ODM. And we want to say to Raila Odinga, you have left a rich, solid, and strong legacy behind you. And the people who now have the reins of management of this party, please, I urge you not to undermine the spirit of ODM, not to allow this party to go into arguments or to fragment this party. This party must stay strong, if not for anything else, for the sake of the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga and his legacy. This party must stay strong. I say so being a party leader of a different party today. But I am a very strong believer that parties are the foundation of any democracy. If we do not have strong parties, we cannot have a strong democratic state. And therefore, it is important, and that is why I have come here to celebrate ODM as a strong party, not a briefcase party, not a regional party, a national party. And it is in that nation identity, being a strong Kenyan party that has roots everywhere. That is where we should go. That is where the nation should be going. Having strong national parties. Celebrating ODM as a strong national party encourages others, like UDA and others, to also be strong national parties. That is how we are going to have we wanted to change the politics of Kenya. From being politics of personalities or ethnicities to politics of ideology, something we believe in. Yes, and that is the way ODM has carried many communities and many regions along because of ideology. So that is the essence of this celebration. We are celebrating a political party that has identity in ideology, that has risen above personality and ethnicity to an ideological movement. This is what it is. So I want to say to the ODM family, congratulations on 20 years of ODM as a party. I want to say the final thing, that I had engagements with Baba, and I say that we've been on the same side of the political divide, we've been on different sides of the political divide, but one thing that Baba always taught all of us is that in politics we don't compete. We compete, but we do not become enemies. We compete, but we do not become enemies. And that is what it is. I want you, as members of ODM, to ask yourselves, how come Baba worked with Moi, and worked with Kibaki, and worked with Uhuru, and worked with William Ruto? You need to ask yourselves. It's because he always could transcend the divide of political competition and reach out for the good of the nation. That is the essence of politics. And I'm very proud that today, being president of Kenya, I have my roots in ODM. And nobody can take that away from me. You may not like it, but that is a fact. Sindio? Yes, you cannot write the story of William Ruto and complete it without saying he was a member of, not a member, he was a founder member and a deputy party leader of ODM. Are we together? Acha hiyo story. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Yeah? Mnasema nirudi nyumbani, si niko nyumbani tayari? What is the problem? Sikizeni. You know, if, I mean, I was teasing, you know, after the elections, many of you may not know, as William Ruto, I was very sad. In this election, this past election of 2022, people were having sleepless nights. My team were having sleepless nights. Me, I was sleeping because it didn't matter to me who won the election. Whether I won or Raila Odinga won, we had almost the same plan for this Kenya. And I can say here without fear of any contradiction, Raila Odinga would have implemented housing the way I'm implementing. He would have implemented universal health coverage the way I'm implementing, because we believed in it together. And we started, even this railway thing, this SGR, it was in the original ODM manifesto. And that is why I must move the railway from Naivasha to Kisumu to Malaba. And by the way, I'm going to begin to move it by January. Sijui kama tunaelewana, my friends. Tuko pamoja. Let me say finally, because I said this is not, there is a time we are going to talk. Sindio? Kuna siku tutakuja tuongee. Leo ilikuwa ni mambo ya kusherehekea 20 years ya ODM. Sinamna hiyo? Na tutashirikiana. As I stand here, I have no apologies to anybody that today ODM and UDA are running the same government. Why? Because we have the same agenda. We have the same agenda. Tuko na agenda the same. If you read the manifesto of ODM and read the manifesto of UDA, the difference is maybe 20%. So, si tu sukume hii maneno tuende mbele. And by the way, let me tell you good people, the last meeting I had with Baba, and Anyang' Nyong'o was there, this professor. Anyang' Nyong'o was there, Hino was there, the last formal meeting. We had sat down to craft, me and Baba, to craft how to move Kenya from a third world country to a first world country. And we asked Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, in fact, Baba is the one who had called Professor Hino from the United States to come to Kenya. And we sat down and we said, Kenya has gone through hoops for far too long. You know, we cannot continue like this. All of you seated here, you know Baba's ideas. This man, Simba Arati, you came with a team from Kisii. Baba spoke to that meeting. I was there, you were there. And he explained to people, why is South Korea ahead of us? Yes. And he said, we must do certain things. And we have agreed we cannot continue in this third world frame. And I called Anyang' Nyong'o after we finished the ceremonies of Baba. And Anyang' Nyong'o is working on something. I met him the other day. He told me he's putting it together because we agreed that we need to generate 10,000 megawatts of energy. And it is the reason why Opiyo Wandayi has very clear instructions on what to do with nuclear energy. We agreed that we must move the railway all the way. We agreed that we must have a new airport. We agreed that we must do another 10,000 kilometers of tarmac. So there are things we have agreed that must move Kenya from being a third world country to a first world country. And in honor of Baba and what he believed in, he even disagreed with many people on matters to do with the airport and many things, because he could see the opportunity we are losing by not being ambitious with our plan and with our program. So as we celebrate ODM at 20, I must tell you, the family of ODM, beyond everything else, we must work together towards moving this great country called Kenya, because that is why we came together then. And it was right then as it is right today. We may have come together then as individuals. We may be coming together now as political parties, but the mission is the same: to change this country. The mission is the same: to change this country. And I am very confident that together, in unity, we can lift this country to the next level, working together. Mr. Party Leader, the Honorable Daktari Oburu Odinga, this great party has given you the honor to steer the affairs of this party. We can only wish you well. We can only wish you Godspeed. We can only wish you God's grace, that you, where your brother and our friend Raila Amolo Odinga has left this party, I know for sure that you are not only his brother, but you are also his friend and confidant. I say so because on every matter that I discussed with Raila Odinga, if there was to be a second person, it was Oburu Odinga. He would always, I remember even when we were discussing this broad-based arrangement, he said the first person you must call is Oburu Odinga. It's Oburu Odinga who came and told me, this is the list of the ministries we are thinking about. And it was a fairly long list, you know, and many other things. So the same confidence I think your brother had, and the same friendship that you carried through with your brother, it is my hope and wish that you will not let him down, that you will stand up for what he stood for, that you will match up to his vision and work for this party the same way your brother and leader worked for this party. To you all ODM family, tunawatakia heri. Unajua leo asubuhi nilikuwa Kitui. So unajua nilikuwa najua nikikuja hii mkutano ya ODM, huyu Simba Arati, unajua Simba Arati amezoea kusema wewe si utoke huko ukuje kwa ODM. Vile nimeona mtu mwingine hapo anajaribu nikasema watu wa UDA watafikiri nimehama, nikasema wacha nivae yellow at least ndio waone bado mimi niko. Lakini nikasema nitachanganya na orange ndio ionekane ni broad based. ama namna gani? Si ndio? Na unajua huko Ukambani niliambiwa rangi ya Ukambani ni yellow. So nikaona hii ni sawa. Wacha nianze na Ukambani yellow, alafu nipeleke huko yellow ya UDA, alafu nichanganye na orange ya ODM, ikuwe broad based, alafu to celebrate. So otherwise nimeshukuru sana my good friends. I just want to assure you of my goodwill, my support in every way, that you will need any support from this administration There are members of ODM in senior positions in this administration. You will not lack the network to be able to access government. I had this man called Junet saying that we were negotiating with you. You are negotiating with who? You are negotiating with Mbadi. So I don't know which Mbadi represents which side of where. We were negotiating with ourselves. Hiyo maneno ya pesa ya kusema you want 450 whatever. So I'm very proud, by the way, of very proud of the contribution of the ODM members in this broad-based administration. Everything I am talking to you about, my Minister for Finance here knows. He knows where we need to move the country. And he knows it is part of the ODM plan and manifesto for us to be able to move in that direction. So, asanteni sana. Mimi nimefurahi sana kufika hapa jioni ya leo. Congratulations ODM at 20, party leader and all the other officials of the party. My very best wishes and all the nice things that we wish you as members of ODM and all of us as we contribute to the progress and prosperity of our nation. I want to wish all of us the very best. Asanteni sana and God bless you. Kuna maneno?
Yeah. Nilisahau wana ODM to propose a toast in honor of our late party leader Raila Amolo Odinga.
Yes.
And also to congratulate members of ODM for the 20th anniversary. And I wanted to propose a toast, Your Excellency, everyone to charge their glasses. Everyone to charge their glasses. I don't know whether the glasses are rechargeable. Yeah. Cheers. Yes.
Excellency, with your permission, I seek your indulgence for an award ceremony. And let's take our seats briefly, please. Let's take our seats. So, with your permission, Your Excellency, just as a note, there are 250 awards that have been given, or rather there are 250 awardees, but because of time, allow us to just give out a few symbolically. We have 3 categories: platinum, gold, silver, and certificates, but we'll only give a few symbolically because of time. Then after that, we cutting